was browsing Twitter the other day, and I came across this post by user @ChowMix. They wanted to start a thread showing off all the iconic foods in the Sonic universe, and naturally people followed suit. I was then reminded of this. This is the iconic chocolate chip sundae supreme from the game Sonic Unleashed. Not only is this thing beautiful, it's also the thing that inspires Sonic to give his new companion his nickname, Chip.
Chip? Gotta call you something, don't I? What do you think? Yeah, Chip! Chip! I love it! Yum!
Ever since I played this game as a kid, I've always wanted to try this delectable work of art for myself. But where am I supposed to find an ice cream cone that spectacular? And then it hit me. I'm an adult with money. I could totally just recreate it myself. And I'm taking you all with me so that you too can learn how to make the second most iconic food from Sonic Unleashed. The first being Eggman's giant sandwich, of course. To start this journey, we need to study photos of the chocolate chip sundae supreme and break it down into parts. As you can see, we have two flavors of ice cream, vanilla and I'm assuming caramel. Varying sizes of chocolate chunks, a cone with an outer ring, chocolate-covered strawberries, whipped cream, chocolate Pocky, some kind of waffle piece, and what I believe is like a poorly rendered banana? A banana would make the most sense since this is a sundae. Side note, while doing research for this, I learned that they actually had a CCSS at the 25th anniversary Sonic Cafe. However, it looks completely different from the actual CCSS in the game. I just thought it was interesting. Look, they even have a little chip cookie on it.
I love it!
Moving on, now that I have a vague list of ingredients, I can go to the grocery store and get everything I need. Alright, I think I have a good assembly of ingredients. Here's what I got. Vanilla and dulce de leche ice cream. I got these little ones because I didn't want to have too much left over. These Keebler sugar cones because their shape matched the cone of the original CCSS best. Strawberries, preferably fresh. Chocolate Pocky. Chocolate chips. Cool Whip. I got Cool Whip specifically because I have an idea. Stroop waffle. This is a waffle sandwich cookie with caramel filling. You could also crush a waffle cone and use that, but buying two types of cones seemed unnecessary. Plus, the caramel in the Stroop waffle will pair nicely with the dulce de leche ice cream. And of course, bananas.
Oh, banana.
You'll also need some miscellaneous things like bowls, a knife, zip bags, and parchment paper, but we can cover those as we go. Okay, enough chit-chat. Time to make this bad boy. First, let's prep the cone. Time to explain why I chose Cool Whip instead of whipped cream. I'm going to put it in a zip bag and make a makeshift piping bag out of it by snipping a corner off. Then I'm piping some into the cone to fill it up, and then I'm piping the fancy little dollops around the edge. Once that's done, I'm popping this into the freezer to set. Cool Whip freezes pretty quickly, and it'll help keep the whole cone stable when we add the other toppings later. If you have Cool Whip left over in your bag, you can save it for later. While we wait for that to set, we can prep the toppings. If you're someone that's young, you should ask for help from an adult, because a few of these steps require a knife. Let's get this Stroop waffle cut into the appropriate shape. Just cut it in half and then cut one of the halves in half again. Simple enough. Now let's make those chocolate-covered strawberries. I picked out 4 that were on the smaller side. Make sure to give them a good wash before you use them. The picture doesn't show any of the leaves attached, so just rip those right off. Fun fact, the stem and leaves of the strawberry are completely edible. We're just doing this for accuracy. Get some parchment paper and lay it out. I recommend putting it on a plate because that'll make transferring everything to the fridge easier. Melt about half a cup to a cup of your chocolate chips in the microwave in 30-second intervals. Then dip your strawberries about halfway into the melted chocolate, swirl it around to remove the excess, and then place them onto the parchment. Transfer those to the fridge so they can harden. If you have leftover melted chocolate, save it for later. You can reheat it and make more chocolate-covered strawberries as a little snack. Now let's cut the banana. Do you ever have trouble peeling a banana? Try pinching the bottom open instead. I find that way easier than trying to rip it open by the stem. Now we're going to cut it at an angle. That way we're left with this sort of thin edge that'll be much easier to stick into the cone. These chocolate chips are a bit too big, so I'm going to chop them up into smaller pieces. Don't worry if your chopping job is uneven, because the chocolate chips in the picture are also various sizes. Alright, it's time to be real with you guys. This took a couple of attempts to get right. For starters, my cone was way too small, so when I got to the assembly, well, it went south really fast. The sheer weight of all the toppings was just too much for this little cone. It got to the point where the ice cream was just melting as I was working with it. I even tried putting it in the freezer in between steps to try and solidify it, but no, it wasn't enough. No crying over spilled ice cream though. I put my sad first attempt in a bowl and just ate it that way. Still delicious. So, how are we going to fix this? I found this ice cream cone cup made of ceramic. It's much bigger than the sugar cones I bought, and it can stand on its own. I have 2 of them, but I only have them in blue and purple. So, I'ma stick with the blue one, you know, because Sonic. Since I had more space in this ceramic cone, I filled the center with the 2 kinds of ice cream. That way there is a more stable base than just having Cool Whip in the center. And then I piped the Cool Whip again, and this time I'm letting it freeze overnight. It's the next day. Yes, I'm wearing the same outfit because I didn't go anywhere the day before, so my clothes were still clean. So from the top, I'm starting with the dulce de leche ice cream, sculpting it round with my spoon. Then I'm adding the strawberries, the waffle, and the Pocky. I want to get those on before the cone gets too tall. Then here comes the vanilla. And now the banana. And here's where I got really giddy once I realized I had actually done it. I was so excited that I almost forgot the chocolate chips. And now we're done! And let me tell you guys, this is delicious. I mean, an ice cream sundae is already delicious, but I feel like putting in the extra effort made it taste even better. Plus, if you're not a fan of cones, the ceramic cone is a great reusable alternative. If you want, you could also make this in a clear glass, like the one in the Sonic Cafe. Anyway, despite the shortcomings, this was so much fun to do. Let me know if you want me to make this a series or something, a la Feast of Fiction or Binging with Babish. Maybe I could make other Sonic foods. If you can't wait for this to be a series, then I recommend a few good videos of people making Sonic chili dogs. One from Sonic Song 182 in their Sonic Chef series, and this one video by Super Nintendo 64 where he uses a recipe found in the first issue of the Sonic Archie comics. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat more ice cream. See you guys later!